We're looking forward to playing a home game. It's been a month since we've been back in Carter Finley, and excited for homecoming. Night game opportunity against a tremendous football team. And that's what you play for, to play against such a good team, such a well-coached team, and to get to do it at home in a night environment at the Carter. It's been awesome to have those types of games, and look forward to having one. I know we'll have a tremendous crowd. I'm excited just to get back on the grass with the guys. As everyone knows, we're injured, we're young, and all those kind of things, and we're going through some challenges of what that is, but I love a challenge, and love when my back's up against the wall, and I know this, our guys aren't going to flinch. They're going to fight, and we're going to fight as a program to get better. And I think the biggest thing that for us, it's not who we play, it's what we do to get better every day and how we play, and that's what we have to focus on and continue to focus on regardless of where we're at with our injury report. And so that's going to be, for the next 4 weeks, what you hear me talk about. And this week the challenge is obviously a great one when you're playing a team that's done what Clemson's done, and I go through their statistics, but you all know where they're at. They do a really good job on both sides of football. They're well coached, they got good players, and so we just got to go out there and be the best that we can be with what we do. And it's really fundamentals. It's executing 11 guys at the same time, and you turn on the film and there's lots of plays where you're one guy away, a guy doing it right, then doing it wrong 5 plays later on the same play. And it's just catching, it's blocking, it's finishing, one more step on a block, getting your hand inside versus outside, how you leverage the football, how you tackle. I mean, it's basic football fundamentals 101, and I'm excited about that challenge, and it's a great week to be back home, because it was an interesting schedule, only having 2 games in October with only one of them being a home game, and it was weird having that set up. And so now it's nice to at least get in a rhythm and be able to put together some consecutive weeks of football. Questions?
Looks like Peyton Wilson played his season high in snaps, and obviously he had a lot of tackles. What's it been like for you to try to, I don't know if you're kind of on a pitch count or not, but obviously he's been pretty reckless out there. Like he's always going. I mean,
he is.
He
played his best game.
How have you tried to kind of let him go, but also try to keep him healthy?
Yeah, I think early in the season there was a fatigue part of this thing for him, and so as we talked earlier in the year, our rotation at linebacker was good, but as the season's gone on, his production has increased, and so he's a guy that's making a lot more plays than other guys, and his stamina has improved, and so that's allowed us to play him more. Him and Drake, I thought, played their best game last week. They were both very active, they were physical, had good spirit about them. I thought C.J. Hart came in and did some good things when he had his opportunity. So, the young linebacking core, it's the banked reps, and that's one position group that those guys have been able to play in every game. And so you see growth when that happens, and so that's the value of that, of staying healthy. And so look forward to him for a while doing what he's doing, and doing it even better as he gets more and more confident and comfortable.
Dave, I'm curious, what stood out to you when you looked at the film with Devin specifically, and things were rough for him, particularly in the second half, passing the ball, but was there anything in particular that you liked a lot, and what you were really most concerned with from the film with him?
I think the thing you like, other than how well he can throw a football, is just how competitive, how into it, how coachable, the conversations that you're able to have. Like, the mistakes that he makes are going to happen. You don't want them to happen, but this is his first start. He made some really good throws. I thought he had a great corner ball throw to Carey on the sideline. He missed an easy out route throw, which he's hit a million times in practice, and so just getting him consistent. And I think, they did a good job sitting on some routes, which probably made him a little bit nervous on some throws, and he's just got to learn how to get through that, and I think that game is going to be a huge piece for him to grow from. But I just like how he comes to work every day. I like when you're talking to him, he gives you feedback. He's not ever in a panic, he's just, here's what I saw, here's what I did. All right, let's talk about it. And, you know, so there's a lot of things to be excited about. You know, obviously not excited that you throw a deep ball down the middle of the field with a post safety there. You know, things that he's got to do, and the receiver's got to try to break that up for him too, if that happens. But, you know, he's going to grow a lot from that game, and he's going to get another team that wants to blitz every snap this week, so another opportunity.
Are you looking at sticking with him for the rest of the way, or is it still a week-to-week kind of situation?
You know, I can't give you 100% on anything in life right now. I just don't think I can do that. I would love to say that he's going to grow and get better and better and better, and I hope that happens for him. I do. You know, I think he's worked himself into the place that he's at for a reason, and he's our starting quarterback right now, and look forward to helping him continue to get better.
You and the other coaches spend an inordinate amount of time watching videos, and it's rare when you come up against a team that looks like it has absolutely no weaknesses. From what you've seen, would you pretty much agree with that?
Yeah, they're really good. I mean, they're experienced. They've got great players. They're well coached. They got staff continuity, all those things, and their kids know how to win. You know, but I also know that anything can happen on a Saturday. You know, and that's why you put the ball down and play. And so, you know, we got nothing to lose in this football game. Just go play as hard as we can, be better than we were a week before, finish plays better than we did the week before. Anything can happen, you know, and that's got to be our mindset. Each week, just try to find a way to be better.
What about them impresses you most?
I don't know if I can give you an answer. I mean, they're good. They're number one in everything in the conference almost, you know, so they're good.
Pack's obviously going through some immediate adversity, but there's the overall big picture of the program too.
Mm-hmm.
And when adversity hits, there are some followers who forget about the big picture. Talk a little bit about the big picture and how optimistic you are about the future.
Well, I think when you're playing the second most number of freshmen in the country, and you're seeing Drake Thomas get better, you're seeing Peyton Wilson get better, you're seeing Josh Harris, Savion Jackson, you know, you're seeing Bam. I thought Jordan Houston ran as hard as he's ran in that game that we just played. That's exciting. It's painful right now because we're not getting to enjoy the improvement, but it's exciting. And I've been through this. We went through it here when Chubb and Fernandez and all those guys were freshmen. It was painful. It was a pain. And they all ended up being really good players for us, you know, because they went through it. And you don't walk on hot coals and come out of it with nothing burned on your feet, you know. I mean, it's going to hurt for a while, but I'm very optimistic and going to remain that way. We recruited 2 really good classes back-to-back that are now being forced into not just playing time, but very important roles on our football team. And we have 4 seniors listed and the 2 deep on our entire roster, so they're being asked to lead and play. It's unique, you know, it's unique, but it's awesome for the future of our program. And, you know, week by week, just one day at a time, keep getting these guys better.
We see guys like Bam and Trent both on the depth chart. Where are they at as far as health after that game?
I couldn't tell you. We'll see.
Okay.
Just to get back to Peyton, what was it like last year to keep him off the field? Because he does seem fairly relentless.
I mean, he was hurt, so, you know, I mean, last year was more about just trying to get him through not playing, like his emotions of how hard it was to not play. And I think Levi and Jeffrey are going through that now on our roster, guys that really want to play that can't because they transferred in here. If you don't have the game and you're watching the game and you think you could be helping the team win, that's challenging. But I do think it gives you really good perspective on how much you truly love football, so that when you get back, you don't take it for granted. And you're seeing that. I mean, he's playing relentless football, and just got to keep getting him to play smarter football.
You got to get a turnover in 4 ACC games this year. You put a finger on why that's happening, or is there rhyme or reason?
Thanks for bringing that up. I mean, I wish I could tell you why. I mean, I think when you watch the film, you're seeing some really good hits. You're seeing guys put their face on the football. You're seeing guys punch and rip at the football. We had a couple balls batted in the air Saturday that didn't bounce to us, and You turn on some film, sometimes you see balls batted, dude's running, and just touchdown. You know, I think some of it's luck, but we practice that skill set daily. We work it, we preach it, we talk about it. I don't know what else to say other than it just hasn't happened yet. And, you know, some of it is we're not making enough plays on the ball. I mean, not just picks, like PBUs. We need to have more of those as well. But it'll come eventually. That's how it works.
You talked a little bit about the frustration of that 2016 season. How much does this mirror that team in terms of, you know, feeling like you're able to turn a corner at some point, you know, going into next year as well?
That team was a lot different than this team. That team, we knew who was on the roster. We were playing with a bunch of sophomores that were really good players. That was Chubb and those guys' sophomore year, I think you're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have 11 starters injured for the season that year. We were able to get better and better, and we finished. We won 3 of the 4 games that year because I thought our young team got better over the course of that season. I mean, I've had a different starting lineup for 8 straight weeks, so it's not even close to that type of team. I mean, it's not. I mean, the thing that's similar is that we had a very talented young group of guys on that roster. Same thing here, but we had the same lineup almost every game that year.
Dave, when you were talking about the future of the program and young guys and developing, with the guys themselves, is it a difficult thing to sort of get that message across right now? Because obviously I'm sure they're frustrated, you're getting shorthanded with injuries.
Yeah.
From a confidence standpoint with those guys?
I think everybody's different. I think some guys, Jordan, Drake, Peyton, Jakeem Harris, those guys are getting better. Like they understand the value of their reps, right? And then there's some guys that we need to get better now. Like they haven't matured as fast, but they're playing. And so it's a day-to-day thing with them. You know, it's not a confidence thing. I think it's more of just, it's a lot. You were in a high school classroom last year, you know, and so it's just the amount that has changed in their lives and the intensity of all that is just different for them, you know, and managing it all and helping them understand the grind and how important the nutrition and the sleep, and it's different to have to do that your first year. So I'm impressed with some of those guys and how they're dealing with it, and like you would expect, some of them it's harder, you know. But it's every day. It's not just coaching football over here. I mean, every day you're talking about how's school going. You're talking about picking them up and getting them positive, or how their families are doing, or their body weight. I mean, it's every day something to try to get them. And you're seeing it. Like Peyton's weight was doing this, and now he's taking care of his body better so that he can have better stamina, you know.
You talked about Jordan Houston running hard. Overall, do you think the running game took a step forward last week?
In some ways it did. You know, it's really hard when you're down 21-0 to all of a sudden just run for 300 yards, you know. But when we ran the ball, we ran efficiently. We were 4.5 yards a carry in the game. And there were some explosive runs, and I thought Jordan did some really good things. You know, Bam was only in there for 9 snaps, so he didn't get a chance. But him and Trent both had some good runs in the game. The line and the tight ends protected and got hats on hats. And so there were some positive things there, things that we can definitely grow on.
Is there anything else?
You guys have a great day. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Dave.